How you doing there, fruitcakes? Alright, so 0 hour Wrestledream. This is what we got going on. Little video package here between Darby Allin and Christian Cage. As you know, they had the handicap match. Sorry, triple threat match for the TNT title. And, it's 0 hour, so this was all, set up. Nobody really cared about this kind of stuff. Nick Wayne had his first pay-per-view, and Luchasaurus had already lost the belt there, and he comes out. The crowd is being polite, but he's not over, and he's 18. I was really surprised that this match was even done. But whatever, I didn't expect much for it, so I sped everything up. I hope this goes through. This is still the free stuff, so we'll just have to see. Very dangerous, landing high on the neck right there on that fall-away German suplex, or the release German suplex, whatever you want to call it. Luchasaurus is booked more like Kane, in case you guys haven't noticed. And I think that's a net positive for him. He's not doing any of those crazy backflips, which is weird because his name is still Luchasaurus, but he's not doing lucha moves. Maybe a different mask, maybe a different name was in order when he turned heel. I'm surprised nobody's talking about that, but it's weird for a guy to be called a Lucha Dinosaur, and he missed that kick. That you could tell, even in 1.3 speed, he was a mile off. But I'm sure Nick Wayne is nervous, and he really doesn't want to hurt a guy who he respects as a veteran in the business, and he's not going to try to potato anybody. So that was a hellacious bump. Ref was Johnny on the spot, making sure that he was okay right there. Got a little bit on top rope there, gathering the heat, channeling the heat key, as I like to say. Getting up there like Dragon Ball Z, feed me your hate, right? Crawls over there to his mommy. I mean, you knew this was going to happen, that he was going to try to hurt her right in front of her. I actually kind of wished, Lucha, I don't know, a lot of these spots, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the business. I try to assume everybody's absolutely stupid, knows nothing, and then if you're smart to the game, great, but if you don't know anything, you realize that they don't walk through every spot on these matches. You get your high points, maybe 5-6 spots, but in a short match like this was only like maybe 7 minutes or so, 5 minutes. Most of this would have been, especially with somebody like Nick Wayne, who's inexperienced, they would have gone through it 2 or 3 times maybe, and he probably knew what was coming. I think Luchasaurus really should have beat him up more in front of his mom, and that seemed pretty light. So you missed out on a chance to really, get over as a heel, and Luchasaurus really needed that. And he put him down quick and easy. So, of course, the concerned face there, whatever. We've seen this a lot. It's a trope. Standing in the corner facing the mom. But it could have been more visceral if he'd have just really taken the chair or something. I would have maybe made this of all matches could have been like a no rules or something like that, and let him really beat him up with the chair right in front of his mom, really getting the crowd to boo or whatever. But it is what it is. Acclaimed came out. Acclaimed is a steady performer. You know what you're going to get from them, night in, night out. I love and respect what they've been doing. The angle here between MJF and this fanboying / stalkering thing that Max Caster is doing, wearing the Better Than You Baby. I'm not sure where that's going. but he's really showing a lot of love, following MJF into the locker rooms, tweeting or tweeting him on X. Can you say tweet anymore? Do you say Xing? Is there a new verb? Because tweet has been in the lexicon now for a long time. I don't know. I'm Xing you. Whatever. But I guess it's still a tweet. But we don't have the bird, right? It's not the little birdie. So, whatever. Elon Musk really screwed with that, didn't he? Back to wrestling, though. This guy here has a nice big man look. And, he's not going to get used right or whatever. But look, they're in a pay-per-view. Wrestling against the Acclaimed. Billy nods in approval. Says, I like that. He has really learned how to... He's old school, of course. He knows how to milk a crowd. He knows how to, work everybody and go slow. He's 60 years old, so he can't move like he used to. So he knows how to get, simple moves over. And that works very well. So MJF has definitely learned from that school. He can chant, sportsmanship, body slam, whatever. He's doing the exact same thing. You can tell who learns from who. And who are the guys who get the biggest pops and get over? It's Billy Gunns. It's the MJFs. It's the Rocks. It's the Stone Colds. It's the Cenas. It's the LA Knights. It's the guys who have 5 moves, 3 catchphrases, as I like to say, the 3 and 5. Tony Storm is figuring that out with Timeless Tony Storm. And those guys expand a little bit on the pay-per-view. And that's about it. So, if you do that, you're going to be a draw. If you try to do spamming moves, kicking out of 150 finishers, be a garbage death jitsu match kind of guy, got to give the people what they want. If you do all that kind of stuff, then you're not going to go anywhere. Like, just look at the top guys in every country. Even AJ Styles, who I think is a hell of a talent and a wrestler, never was as big of a draw as his opponents who didn't go into the flips the way he did. That's just the way it is. Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit were bigger draws. And this match right here is a very... they let them get their moves in. As I say, get their shit in. That guy had a good T-bone suplex. And a lot of nice moves. One of them, anyway, knows how to work. I would like to see him break off. And there's another guy, cannot remember his name, but he's a big, tall dude. He had one match on Collision, like the 3rd or 4th episode of Collision. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. But he was part of the group with QT Marshall. He's got kind of similar hair, like shoulder-length curly hair. He has that other Hercules Hernandez type look. I think he has like an Italian kind of name. If they put him and that guy together, they would be a very, strong, powers of pain kind of team. Those two need to be together. So, I know it's a 1,000,000 to 1 shot that that's going to happen. Because these guys are all friends and they like to work with their friends or whatever. They never do what's best for business on a bigger picture. But they would have looked like basically like Chronic. Remember Chronic back in the day? Was it Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo, or Jindrak and Palumbo, or man, I can't believe my memory's going like that. But you know what I'm talking about. And Chronic was insanely over right at the end of WCW, and if they'd have been booked correctly in the Invasion angle and not buried to the Brothers of Destruction, then they would have been great. But this guy and that guy, they just remind me of, they could be the next Chronic. Who doesn't like Chronic anyway, right? Get a little, hit on that big Chiba, baby, you know what I'm saying? Everything textbook, everything's pretty tight. These guys have proved they're decent workers. They're not botching anything. Acclaim usually doesn't botch anything. They have a good style. They could easily transfer into the WWE, which I think they will one day, to be honest with you. Like, who doesn't like the John Cena rap gimmick, right? Vince does. He's got that good deadlift German. And we know who else does that in WWE who's getting over with that move. The Chaos Theory, it's called. And since this is a six-way match, you're not seeing him really show out. So it's either, and there he goes again. It's not sit down Blue Thunder, but very similar. So you can tell he's got all the moves. They're feeding him. He's really been the guy that's standing out in this match. And unfortunately, what do? He takes the pin. He should not have been the guy to take the L. But I hope this gets him a push, because he got to show out, and he did the job. He was the most professional one. I want to see that guy go places. If anybody in this match deserves to go anywhere and is going to get backstage love, it's going to be that guy. So, whatever. We'll see. AEW drops the ball on these things a lot, but that guy, he really needs to, he needs some shine. He got shine on this pay-per-view, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm going to try and post this entire pay-per-view, and, some of it will be with commentary, maybe some of it won't. I'll mix it up. We'll see what people think. We'll give it a shoot, and we'll see what happens. So, you got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down there. Let me hear you shoot, you know what I'm saying? All right there. Deuces and scissors.